Hey everyone, welcome back to the Nintendo Prime podcast. As you can see, we kind of have a new setup, and somehow Eric and I are wearing matching shirts, proof that we went to E3 together. But we're not going to be talking too much about Breath of the Wild today. I kind of saved most of that talk for the Zelda Informer podcast, which I have not finished rendering yet. I don't know. It's a long story. I don't want to get into it right now. But we are back, much more organized. It's going to be a much shorter podcast this week. We're not looking at that 2-hour mark again.
Thank God.
We are going to talk about some things that aren't necessarily new news, but are really big topics that I feel haven't been covered well enough by other outlets. And one of the things I want to talk about right off the bat is Nintendo's mobile initiative, specifically Super Mario Run, and in regards to the recent Pokemon Go update. But let's start off with Super Mario Run. Now, Eric, do you even know what Super Mario Run is?
No, I have not yet.
Okay, so let me explain what happened. So when Apple unveiled the iPhone 7, okay, they had that big press event. At that event, Shigeru Miyamoto came on stage and unveiled Super Mario Run. And what Super Mario Run is it's a nonstop. It looks like a 2D side-scrolling Mario game, but one of those nonstop runners where it just keeps scrolling, and you tap the screen, there jumps and double jumps and tricks and all this stuff. Collect coins, get power-ups, yada yada yada. So it in a lot of ways it's like an auto-running 2D Mario game. It actually looks really really good. I mean, you can look up the video if you want to watch it. Like it looks fantastic, and it's exclusive right now to iOS, so no, you can't play it. Sorry. But you will be able to play it at some point next year. Android is going to be getting Super Mario Run at some point next year. Nintendo's, apparently the development's not done on it yet, or they have some, timed exclusive thing with Apple worked out. Recently, one of the bigwigs from Apple actually was seen in Japan at Nintendo, like playing Super Mario Run again. So apparently they're going to make a big deal out of it. It's probably going to be like Apple's going to really be pushing that game. And I believe iOS devices make up something like 40% of the smartphone or smart device market. So it's still a pretty sizable chunk of the market. Like 50% is Android, and then 10% is like the Windows or like those odd whatever platforms. Who knows if it'll ever come to those odd platforms, or if it'll even come to Windows phones or any of that. So Nintendo's fully invested in mobile, clearly. Obviously, Pokemon Go wasn't by them. It was by Niantic. I'm sure you've heard of Pokemon Go. You can't really not hear of Pokemon Go.
Yeah, no.
It's only like the most popular, or it was. I don't know if it's still the most popular game in the world on phones.
I don't think
but
it
it's
is
still up
anymore.
there. It's like plateaued at a really, really high level. Last I checked, it was still number one in 13 countries. I don't know if the United States was one of them, though. But it was at the top 3 grossing games still. And it's kind of just been staying there. Anyways, so what do you guys think about Nintendo diving right into mobile? They've repeatedly said they're not going to do it. Now they're doing it. We know at least 2 or 3 more games they have coming before the end of the fiscal year. But let's just kind of start with Super Mario Run. Like, what do you guys think of Super Mario Run? Darren, why don't you start, since this is the first time Eric's even heard of Super Mario Run. So Darren, what do you think? Super Mario Run, does it excite you? Is it what you want Nintendo to be doing in mobile?
When it was first announced, I just kind of overlooked it. I didn't get that excited. I kind of expected it. I thought Nintendo would make some sort of an endless runner out of their IP, and what better IP than Mario to start out with. But then, as I looked into it more, it became... I kind of saw it as more of a game that I was interested in, because before I was like, yeah, I'll probably get it because it's Mario. I'll get it. But it actually looks like something that I'll be looking forward to now. Because, as you said, it looks decent. I mean, it's not just doing the same thing over and over. There's different worlds. There's different stages. I am actually looking forward to it.
That's good. I'll go next. Eric's just watching some footage of it for the first time. What's interesting about this game, and it should be noted that this isn't like a free-to-play game. Or is it a free-to-play game? I can't remember. I think it was a one-time purchase.
Free to start, But then later on you have to pay.
Yeah, I thought it was like you get like the first 2 or 3 stages free, and then there's like a paywall, but that paywall's supposed to be like pretty cheap, and then after that you never need to pay again.
Yeah.
This wasn't supposed to. Miyamoto specifically said this wasn't a game that they wanted to keep hitting you with paywalls or keep hitting you with microtransactions. It just wanted to be like test the experience. If you like it, buy the rest of it, and then be done. So, kind of like it's kind of like releasing a demo for like a AAA game and then trying it out, and then deciding you want to buy the whole thing, and you only pay once. Obviously, Nintendo has dabbled into DLC and everything, and we have no idea if Super Mario Run's going to have like huge future patch updates or anything. Or if there's going to be a Super Mario Run 2. We don't know. I assume it's going to be a pretty successful.
Oh, yeah.
I really like what I see because it looks like a translation of Mario that it makes sense. So, Eric, now you just watch it, you're reading up on it a little bit. What are your initial thoughts? Super Mario Run, one of Nintendo's first mobile games. It's not their first mobile app because they released Miitomo. But Miitomo it's like a social
Miitomo's
experiment
dead.
more than a game.
Right.
So this is like the first game that Nintendo has developed that they are releasing on phones, like an actual game. You know, you're looking at it, you're reading about it. What do you think? I mean, you've played lots of Mario.
Right.
So.
To me right now, I don't know if it's all that impressive. I think it's a great starting point for like experimenting with mobile. You know, I think it leaves a good place for it to keep going and expand on it. It looks like from looking up here, it is free to start.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it looks like paywall after it, like you were saying. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it doesn't look like a bad game.
It looks like
at
New
all.
Super Mario Brothers.
Right. Yeah, it does.
It does. It looks exactly like New Super Mario Brothers.
It does. It does. But you know, side scrolling runners are not my thing. But you know, it's a great starting point.
Well, is it something that you would just give it at least a try?
Oh, yeah,
it's free to
definitely.
start.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, if you don't like it,
I
you
would
don't
definitely try it.
Okay. It'll be interesting. I don't think the exact price point for it has been released yet when you hit that paywall. I'm hoping it's under $5. But we'll see. I've heard rumors that it might go up to $10. I don't know. I don't know how much content is going to be on it. You know, how many stages they plan to have. But I think it's a safe start. One, I'm surprised because I'm not really surprised. It's a high quality game. I didn't expect Nintendo to release something that sucks. Because as quirky and as weird as Miitomo is, it didn't suck. It just didn't really have a purpose to it.
It was popular for the
it
first
felt
couple
very
weeks of its
experimental.
release, but then afterwards it just kind of died down.
It really wasn't even. It was more so people like, oh hey, Nintendo released something, let's go check it out. It like Pokemon Go is popular. Miitomo was just like the faithful went and checked it out, and
Curiosity got
curiosity, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't poorly coded. It didn't really have much of a purpose. And, you know, I know they still release costumes and stuff for it, and every now and then I'll go in and use my coins and all that stuff to try
And
to get
Miitomo
like, the new
is
Link costume or whatever.
supported in Super Mario Run
but
too.
it's really
I think you can import your friends list over.
Oh, can you see? And that makes a lot of sense because that goes into Nintendo's plans for networking everything together, all their games together, all their future platform stuff together. So it would make a lot of sense to me if the Miitomo could do that. That's actually a positive sign to me. So hopefully all that stuff can port back on over to NX too. But obviously Super Mario Run's not out yet. It will be out soon for iOS anyways, and it'll be out next year for Android. But there is a game that's out right now. It just got an update. Pokemon Go. So I want to start with Darren with Pokemon Go because I know you were like an avid Pokemon Go player when it came out. You planned out your routes to hit up the most gyms and to collect the most Pokemon. Do you even play Pokemon Go anymore?
I do not, because it just got to the grinding point where, okay, this game isn't fun anymore. I'm just catching all the same Pokemon over and over. I believe level 18 or level 19. I think that's the point where the game becomes more of a chore than a game. and I'm just waiting for more updates before I go back into it. Now, the recent update is something that I haven't looked into, but what I saw was particularly, it made me want to say, okay, maybe I should go back out and play Pokemon Go and test the new update. Maybe I'll like it, but I think I'm still going to wait for more content to actually get back into playing it on a regular basis. I mean, I'm going on a vacation next month to Washington, D.C., and I've never really hunted Pokemon in like a very... In like a big city, you know what I'm talking about. And so I'm going to try that because it's somewhere I've never been. Maybe there'll be different Pokemon there. I'll be able to hit up different Pokestops, visit different gyms, maybe take a couple of them over. But I think I'm on the same page with everybody else, and I'm just going to wait until more content comes along and makes me want to play it again.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting. See, I'm level 6, so it's not like I played a ton of it. My daughter is always begging me to take her out and go catch Pokemon because she really thinks it's awesome, and that's great that it has a nice appeal with kids. It's one of those games to me that I'm glad it exists because it's like one of the first, well, not the first game of its type, but the first game to be this successful, and it's just. It launched and it didn't really feel it was complete. It felt like it was missing features. Some of those features still aren't there. I still can't turn around right now and battle Eric. Yeah. That's one of the big appeal of Pokemon is battling your friends. Yeah. I can't do that right now. Now he can go capture a gym and then I can fight his guys at the gym, but I'm not fighting him directly. Right. So that's kind of a letdown to me. I don't think you could trade Pokemon yet. That's another big thing that makes Pokemon really popular is the ability to trade it. Like, you can what?
You can't trade.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, so it was one of those things where I'm like, well, okay, so I can't battle, I can't trade. I'm going to keep catching the same Pokemon in my area, which is fine if I could trade with people from other areas that keep getting the same Pokemon but can't get mine. It would make a lot of sense to open up trades, and that would actually make me want to interact with the game more. But instead, it was just a concept that released, it worked, it made a ton of money. There's no doubt it's been like a wild success. It's probably eventually going to cross $1 billion in total profits. I know it's already north of $500 million. It's going to keep going and keep going. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, when it blew up, it was literally the most popular app to ever be downloaded in the history of apps.
It doesn't surprise me at all.
It was number one in every single country. Did you see the video of all like every time like some rare Pokemon will pop up in like a big city, there'd be like a stampede of people?
No, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Yeah, so it's just even when people lie about it.
Yeah,
the one that was a lie in Japan.
Well, I live in a particularly small town. I'm talking a really, really small town. And I'd come across some people playing it, but normally I'd be playing it with a couple of my friends. And one time, I heard someone shout, "Oh my goodness, there's a Tauros over here!" And so we went over there, and there's like 5 people there. That's the extent of a Pokemon
that's your stampede.
That's your stampede. Yeah, that's the stampede of people. Oh, there's a Tauros over here. 5 people walk over.
Yeah, there was. I didn't catch it. But there was a Squirtle. Like, it's not even a rare Pokemon, but it was down at Irvine Park in my town. And I was just down there with my kids, and I'm just, like, trying to catch it. I keep failing. Next thing I know, there was, like, 40 people gathering right behind me. Because Irvine Park's, like, really popular in my town. We have a town of, like, 13,000, but, like, Irvine Park's, like, at the center of it. So, like, everybody just goes to Irvine Park. Yeah. And it was just...
like, 4 gyms and...
Oh yeah, there's a lot. There's like 4 gyms down there, and ton of Pokestops. It's kind of a big area for Pokemon, but it's just, I just couldn't catch it, and everyone else was like, yes. I'm like, dang it. But yeah, no. So Pokemon Go is really cool because obviously we're all Pokemon fans. We've all played lots of Pokemon in our lives. Pokemon Go is obviously a very different concept that we'd like to see some stuff from the games brought into, like battling your friends. I do like. I think they made a recent change to gyms now, where you could have more than one Pokemon defend your gym.
Yeah, you could always have more than one Pokemon defending your gym, but now when you go to train at a friendly gym, you can use more than one Pokemon. Because before, when you attacked an
Yeah.
enemy gym, you would
Yeah,
use
yeah.
all your Pokemon, but when you train, you'd only use one. Well, now you can use all of it, which helps you train all of your
Yeah.
Pokemon, get more XP, and level up the gym faster.
See, this is why I want to talk about it, because Darren's like the resident Pokemon
Yeah.
Go expert. I'm sure Eric has probably not even played it.
No, I know a few people that
Yeah.
played it, but
Yeah.
I haven't.
So it's just one of those things. I hope it continues to go good. I think, between Miitomo, Super Mario Run, and I know Pokemon Go is not by Nintendo, but Nintendo does own part of Niantic, and they do own, obviously, the Pokemon license.
Wait,
it's
Nintendo
one of those
owns part
things
of
where
Niantic?
Nintendo's got kind of a really good start. Yeah, they do.
Oh.
We don't know how much it is, but yeah, they invested in Niantic.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So we have no idea how big it is. It could be 5%, it could be 10. We have no clue. But it's not more than 50%. Like, they're not majority owners. That much we do know. But yeah, it's just really, really interesting. I like where Nintendo's going with mobile. Not necessarily always going to appeal to me, but then again, mobile games don't really necessarily appeal to me as much as they do for some other people. But I like that, my kids, one of the first experience playing a Pokemon game is Pokemon Go, and she thinks it's awesome. Mm-hmm. So, that could transition to my daughter in the future playing Pokemon games on a 3DS.
Yeah, then she's going to pick up
the
Sun and
NX
Moon
or
and be like,
whatever in
what's
the
this
future.
crap?
Right. Here, go back and play Red and Blue. That's garbage.
I like, though, that they stick with the original Pokemon.
Yeah, the original starting 150, 151. Well, I mean, they haven't even released all of them yet.
Yeah. But, one thing I'd like to see possibly to keep people interested is, how they have the different Pokemon per region.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just, rotate the regions around, the Pokemon that you catch in your region. Just kind of rotate them around so you don't constantly see the same Pokemon.
Yeah. It should be one of those, like say I live up by a lake, right? So I see water Pokemon, but it's always the same water Pokemon. So, it would be nice if they would say, once, it doesn't be all the time, every 2 months, once a month.
Yeah.
Just rotate out.
Yeah.
Some of the more common Pokemon. I understand that, the rare ones are always going to be rare, and that's fine. There still should be a chance I'm going to find it, but that I think would also drive interest too, because as Darren said, one of the number one reasons was you just keep catching the same Pokemon, which is nice for evolving them and leveling them and all that stuff, but once you've already maxed out each of those Pokemon, there's no real point to keep catching more of them unless you just want to create a whole team of one Pokemon that's all maxed out.
All Magikarps.
Which is all magic. You're not even going to evolve it? Oh, man.
Yeah, right.
Oh, man. Just flop around. Splash. So, yeah, that's going to do it to just talk about mobile stuff. I just thought it's really interesting what Nintendo's doing. I like it, but I don't like it because it doesn't appeal to me, but then I do like it because the games are so far all high-quality experiences. My kids have already experienced Mario before, but the first time my daughter plays Mario for herself is probably going to be on Super Mario Run. Because it's easier for her to understand, just tap and he jumps.
Right.
She was trying to play Frogger on the PlayStation 3 upstairs, and she has a hard time understanding the directional pad.
Right.
It's easy to understand taps.
Yep, just tap it and go.
Tap it in. Just a little tappy. So our next topic, we probably won't be talking about this one too long, because I don't know if any of us have played it yet. But... Paper Mario.
Oh boy.
Color Splash. So, expectations for this game were pretty low. You can thank the last two Paper Mario games for that, especially Sticker Star. Big disappointment for many people. Now, I have not played anything since Thousand Year Door, so I'm way behind. So my expectations of are way up here because Thousand Year Door is so amazing.
But apparently you haven't missed anything, so.
Well, the one on the Wii that flipped the dimensions, that one ended up being pretty good, and Metacritic kind of agrees. All the reviews for that one were pretty good. It wasn't as good as Thousand Year Door, but Sticker Star is where it really went way off the rails.
Yeah. I heard that was just.
So Color Splash came out, and a lot of people like it. It looks like Sticker Star, but it's not Sticker Star. It has some of the same battle mechanics that people hated in Sticker Star, but then they kind of tweaked it and improved upon it and fixed it. Now, apparently, there's a bug you can come across that kind of breaks the battle system, but not But I mean, not every reviewer has come across the bug, but it does exist. It'll probably get patched out now that it's publicly known. But besides that bug, it looks absolutely gorgeous. No surprise. I mean, it's a Wii U game, and it's like, you know, kind of the Paper Mario style in HD. So it's going to look absolutely gorgeous. You know, even though Sticker Star, it looks a lot like Sticker Star. Sticker Star just, it's so hard looking at it because I know how bad the game is. If it was actually a good game, I whatever. But Color Splash is actually getting some good reviews. Now, interestingly enough, I wanted to check today because all I've heard is good things outside of the one battle bug. All I've heard is good things. So I went and I looked up what Paper Mario Color Splash is on Metacritic. And right now it's sitting at a 78 with a user score of a 7.7. Now, obviously, Metacritic isn't the be-all, end-all of everything. It weights different people's reviews, yada, yada, yada. But it does give you kind of a nice overlook of what the general response is to these games. And I was like, well, 78, that's not great, but that's not terrible. So I was like, oh, well, what did all the other Paper Mario games get? Well, looking back at it, 1,000 Year Door was an 87. Super Paper Mario, that's the one I was talking about on Wii, that was an 85. And then Paper Jam and Sticker Star was a 75. And Paper Jam was a 76. So, in reality, Color Splash is kind of just barely scoring above the games that people didn't like. So, none of us have played it. That's what's so hard about this.
Yeah.
None of us have, unless Darren, you maybe you've picked it up.
I have not played it.
It's just people I trust that I like their opinions on the internet have told me it's amazing. They told me they did really clever things with the story. You know, kind of a spoiler warning, not really. You know, the game still has like all the toads as like the main NPCs in the game, which people always thought was a cop-out with the newer games because there used to be more NPCs than that in the first two games. Anyways, and the game actually makes fun of itself that there's all these toads.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny, but it's also like you're kind of admitting to a problem at the same time. Like, come on, the original games way back on the GameCube and all that stuff like did not have this. Why are you more lazy today than you were back then, I guess. But still, apparently the writing is absolutely brilliant, and that's one thing I've seen across the board is everyone agrees that the writing is brilliant and the story is awesome. Some people still don't like the battle mechanics because it is like Sticker Star, even with the improvements. It's kind of like, I kind of look at it as like Spirit Tracks to Phantom Hourglass. Spirit Tracks improved on a lot of the mechanics from Phantom Hourglass, but that still doesn't mean that you're going to like Spirit Tracks if you didn't like the mechanics in Phantom Hourglass. It's very rare to be like me with Phantom Hourglass. I absolutely hate Phantom Hourglass,
I love
but I
Phantom
absolutely
Hourglass.
love Spirit Tracks. And I'm really, like, it's so weird because the mechanics are mostly the same. They're just better. It's like, I love Majora's Mask, but I'm not really that big into Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask uses a lot of the same mechanics from Ocarina of Time, but it improves upon them. It's just really weird how I like flip on a dime like that. It's like I play one game, I'm like, okay, now I know what those mechanics are like when they're good, so now that I see them when they're bad, just...
They're extra bad.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just the way I am. So I feel like with Color Splash, because I played Sticker Star and was disappointed, that's the way I'm going to feel with the game. I'm actually going to probably end up liking it because the things I didn't like about that battle system have been improved upon. So yeah, you know, if some of our viewers out there, if you have Paper Mario Color Splash, let us know what you think. We'd love to talk more about it. We just don't know. It's just it's a recent release. It's probably the last decent Wii U game we're going to get besides Breath of the Wild. And I want to know what you guys really think about this game. It looks very, very interesting to me. I want you to either convince me to buy it or tell me why I shouldn't, as someone who loved 1,000 Year Door but did not like Sticker Star.
I'm wondering if that Toad thing is just kind of we know about it, and we might be doing something about it for the next game. We'll just make fun of ourselves now.
Maybe. Well, the thing is, like, the game has been
it.
diving in popularity. Yeah. Well, again, Nintendo's own fault. They kind of made 2 bad games in a row.
Yeah.
But we'll see. People want it to be good because, like, 1,000 Year Door and even, you know, Super Paper Mario, whatever, was really good too, but not quite as good as 1,000 Year Door. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Right. We'll see what happens. You know, the final word is not set on this game because it only just came out. So I have 2 topics left. One of them is a game, but we'll end with the game. I want to briefly talk about theme parks because who doesn't like a theme park? Even if you've never been to one, if you've seen one on TV, if you've seen it in a magazine, you've seen them in videos, you probably be like, man, I want to go there. I want to go on that roller coaster. I want to go on those water rides. I want to go on the merry-go-round. Yay. Actually, good theme parks usually don't end up having a merry-go-round. But that's usually more something you get at a fair. But
all I can think of is a merry-go-round of Yoshi's.
So we know that Nintendo partnered up with Universal Studios to create Nintendo-themed attractions and rides, and there's this huge section being built at Universal Japan, or Universal Tokyo Japan, or something like that. And it's not going to be done. I think it was slated to be done in 2018 or 2019, opened by 2020. And then we would, they were going to wait and see how successful that was, and then decide to, if they wanted to expand to other Universal Studios. Well, interestingly enough, this has been kind of confirmed by at least 3 different people. Miyamoto was spotted at Universal Studios in Florida. And they were videotaping him doing something, and people weren't allowed to take pictures or anything. Like, they had very strict security. They're like, they don't, whatever was going on, they definitely didn't want anything kind of leaking out about it. Because, it was an unannounced thing. Like, no one knew he was there except for, obviously the people who planned it behind the scenes. So people were wondering, if he was recording a video for maybe another Nintendo Direct or something like that. Some people even went as far as to speculate it's for NX. But it's very obvious if it's Universal Studios, it's about that partnership they have with theme parks with Universal Studios. So it's possible, if not this year, early next year, that Nintendo could publicly announce that they are going to start working on theme park attractions at Universal Studios in the United States. Well before most people thought, because they're supposed to be testing the grounds. So my question, because it's just kind of a speculative thing at this point. So my question is, what is one Nintendo-based ride you want to see if they build something at Universal Studios in Florida? We'll start with Darren.
Okay.
He's been silent for a while.
A Tower of Terror ride based on Majora's Mask. I feel like that would be awesome. Like, maybe when you're going up and down it, you could see like when Link is falling down the hole, you see all the clocks, and like the symbols there. Those could be on the walls. I don't know how they do that with like projections or whatever, but
leave
I
it to Darren to go as Zelda.
Yeah. Well, if done right, it could be a pretty scary but fun ride.
Okay. Eric. I know we've been to theme parks. We love theme parks.
Oh yeah.
What kind of ride, Nintendo-based, you want to see?
Ooh.
Just one.
I do like the idea of life-size Mario Karts.
Yes.
How can you go? They're like, if you are going to build attractions, there almost has to be like Mario Karting going on.
And this,
I don't know how they'd implement items into it, but
the Orlando Sentinel actually has a thing about like dreaming of a Splatoon water park and the life-size Mario Karts. That's kind of where I got the idea, but
nice.
That's a fantastic idea.
That's awesome. So I know that this isn't Universal Studios, where I'm getting this idea from, but Space Mountain. I would like to see that turned into a Death Mountain. From Zelda. I know we're double dipping into Zelda. I had thought about like
Nate
kind of like
Zelda.
In real life, or like you know what they could do with it actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, you know what I'm actually thinking about? They could go on a slow cart ride. This would be more for kids, but adults probably get a kick out of it too. And you know how like Pokemon Go is like this big deal? You catch Pokemon while you're on the ride. Mm-hmm. You're given a Pokeball, or even like a bag of them that you actually physically throw, and they just have a machine that picks them up.
Yeah, right.
Because it'll just all funnel down to wherever, right. Or you just end up sneaking one out because everyone's gonna sneak one out.
Yeah, obviously.
But. A game where you throw and you catch Pokemon, and like you have like your little tablet thing that you get at the beginning of the ride, and it like recognizes what Pokemon you hit with your Pokeball, mm-hmm. and tells you if you successfully caught it, and then like you can go on the ride multiple times to try to catch them all. I think that would be something that would be really fun.
Incorporate Pokemon Go into it too.
Yeah, they could connect to the Pokemon Go app maybe. They could, kind of rotate. They could have it where they rotate out Pokemon based on seasons. Mm-hmm. So it's not so it's not every time you come to Universal you're seeing the same Pokemon in there. No, it'll be different every time. I hope it's not like you have to go to Tokyo. You have to go to Universal Japan to get some, like they do with Pokemon Go.
Right.
I could see them doing that. But I think it would just be really cool where you're just like one of those little slow kind of looking at the scenery, almost like Pokemon Snap a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
And then you're throwing Pokeballs just because.
Yeah. Why not?
I just think it'd be really cool. But I also would like to see like a Space Mountain kind of themed in Zelda, like a Death Mountain kind of roller coaster
That'd be
thing.
cool.
I think that would
like
be really
that.
sweet.
Inflatable Mario, where you can run through like an inflatable course and actually Goomba stomp Goombas.
Goomba stomp Goombas. All right, we're going to move on to the last part of the podcast. As I said, this is going to be kind of a shorter podcast this week, mostly because I still have to do a lot of work on the Zelda Informer podcast. However, this last one's going to be fun. This is a game.
Boy.
We're playing a game.
Oh, no.
So, the NX. There's been a lot of rumors going on with the NX. And there's like a new rumor now that from some supposedly like insider place that it's going to be revealed next week. You know how many times we've had rumors like this. So we're going to pretend that we are in charge of Nintendo and that we ourselves are going to unveil the NX. Now, here's how this game's going to work. Each of us will come up with our own reveal strategy for the NX. We will also name the NX. While we explain the strategy, or when we're all done explaining the strategies and explaining how we're going to unveil, or whatever the name of the NX is, how we're going to unveil it, what games we want on it, kind of going over our strategy to make us excited, like what would make us excited during the reveal. We're going to put a poll up on NintendoPrime.net, and you guys, our viewers, are going to go on there and decide which one of us had the best idea. The winner just gets some nice bragging rights. However, the losers must perform they must recite a homemade 10-second poem about how amazing the winner is.
Oh my gosh.
So you know I'm going to win because I love
Yeah, the Lament of the Queen of Ching.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So whether or not we do this live on the podcast, that could be a thing. Next week or whatever. Or I have no idea how we're going to do how we're going to have the poem thing go. Because first we got to figure out what the winners are and losers. So one of us two for sure are going to be doing it. That's going to be interesting. And obviously, I really hope Darren doesn't win. I don't want to say nice things about Darren. By the way, the poems have to be nice.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah.
Are we waiting
guess-
a week to do this?
What?
So we get a chance to actually think about this?
What?
Are
No.
we actually, no?
No.
I hate you.
No. So,
Oh, God.
Darren, do you know how you want the NX to be revealed, what you want it to be called?
I guess. Alright, I'll go. So,
Make your pitch.
are we describing like the reveal event, or are we just describing like the strategy of marketing?
Yes.
Or reveal event?
The reveal event, the whole shebang.
Okay, so there's an announcement. Nintendo tweets out like, "Oh, Nintendo NX is gonna be revealed on this date. Tune in to this live stream." And there's a press event, but the press event is obviously live streamed. And at the press event, there will be a giant screen up there, and they're gonna show off kind of a presentation of what NX is, and obviously the stream will be showing that as well. And then after that stream is done, the camera will go back to the crowd and everyone will be clapping, woo. But in the video that will be playing, introducing NX, Kamishima and Miyamoto and Reggie will be coming out and explaining what it is. Like, oh, this is a hybrid console. Not only can you play it on your TV, but you can play HD handheld games wherever the heck you want. And then show off Breath of the Wild, Mario Galaxy 3, Metroid Prime 4, Mario Maker NX, Pokemon whatever, I don't care, maybe a new Pokemon dungeon game. Regardless, they're going to show that off, and then the crowd is going to cheer, and then afterwards, Kamishima and a translator, I don't know if Kamishima knows English or not, but They're going to come out on stage and then talk specs like, oh, this is 1080p and HD and 60 frames per second. I highly doubt they're going to do that, but that's what I'd like. And just talk about the specs a little bit. Loosen up. Just talk about the hardware. Let us know, Nintendo, what your console's made out of. And then they say this console will be available on March 31st, and you can get the sweet Breath of the Wild NX bundle with all of its amiibo, and there you go. Have fun with NX, and we're going to support this till the day we die, or until we release another console to replace it.
And the name?
Oh, and the name, yes. I think I'm just gonna stick with Nintendo NX. It's grown on me. I think it's what people know.
All right, strap yourselves in. This is how
Nate cheats because he's had time to think about this, so keep that in mind when voting.
I what?
You cheat because you had time to think about this beforehand because you knew about this game.
Oh, no, I didn't. I did not, actually. I came up with this game like 2 minutes before Eric showed up. So
Okay.
So, here's what I would do. I wish I had the lights on a dimmer so I could be like, dim the lights, flashlight. So, obviously, literally right this second, I would announce when you're going to unveil it. And the announcement to unveil it is going to be where Nintendo has literally rented out the entirety of Universal Studios Park. That way, they open up the unveiling to the public to come into the park for free, getting free merch and all that stuff as you walk in. And there'll be, big screen TVs, all over the whole park. So even if you can't get up to the stage, which would be, I'm assuming towards the center, or even if they're inside one of the big theaters and they can't get everyone in, you're still going to feel like you're part of it. Kind of like if you go to a sporting event, you're tailgating and all that stuff. Like you're going to feel like it's an event, like awesome. So you might have, it might all take place in a room where you have mostly press, but it's all it's just a huge event, whatever. And they announced it's going to be like an hour and a half event. Not too long, but just enough to show off a ton of stuff, because all they're talking about is NX. After all the events where they've said, we are not going to talk about NX, we are not going to talk about NX, that's all they're talking about here. So, the event starts with a video. And it's Breath of the Wild. You hear the open your eyes again, and everyone's like, oh, okay, well, we've seen this before, whatever. Opens up. It opens up exactly as it did at E3. You're seeing, the very beginning parts of the Wii U trailer, and all of a sudden, about 10 seconds in, it does one of those like boom, and then it blows the NX version up on the screen. And as the NX version is up on the screen, because some people might not, if you're streaming at home or, you're watching on the TVs, you might not fully grasp necessarily the big differences with this NX version compared to the Wii U version. So they're going to throw up an FPS counter in the corner. And you're just going to watch it stay at that steady 60 FPS the whole time. And you're going to watch all these explosions, and they're going to be showing off all this new content, which is already going to get a whole bunch of people hyped, because people are already hyped for Breath of the Wild. And it's going to just stay at that constant, and all of a sudden, right at the end, it's going to pop up and say native 1080p, and then upscaled 4K. NX exclusive. And then it's going to get the crowd going nuts, like, oh man, just making people like, holy crap, I can't, they just confirmed the NX is can do 4K, even though Breath of the Wild itself is only going to be 1080p because it was ported up, and it's what's going on? It's still getting all crazy. Miyamoto walks on stage, with his highly shield and his sword again, acting like it's 2004. Does the whole sword swipe, as everyone's all cheering and everything, and then he stops it and he just drops it, and he goes, "This is Nintendo," and then out of the floor comes up 4 NX units. At this point, they're just called Nintendos. Nintendo's going back to making their name the brand. They come up out of the floor. You have one of them is just the handheld unit with the controllers detached, sitting on little pedestals on the side, and it's got a game on it. Now, you can't quite make out what that game is, but there's a game playing on it. It's definitely not Zelda. You have another one popping up out of it. It's got a big 4K TV with the unit on a docking station displaying Mario Galaxy 3. This one you can clearly see because it's a bigger TV. So it's got Mario Galaxy 3 on it. You're not sure if it's Mario Galaxy 3 at the time, but it is Mario Galaxy 3. And it just says 4K in the corner, 60 FPS. And people are just flipping out, like, what is happening? Because these are all coming up, one at a time. The third one pops up out of it. This is the handheld unit with the controllers attached. This one also has a game on it, but that's it. It doesn't. You can't tell what game it is. It's too small. The fourth one pops up. It is Reggie Fils-Aimé holding both of the controllers detached, playing a brand new Wii Sports game. Now you're thinking, whoa now. They just destroyed. Yes, it's because the controller's detached and there's rumors that might be motion control. So he's playing. People aren't sure yet that it's the NX controllers, but he's just like he's just sitting up there waving his arms. There's like nothing in front of him. He looks like an idiot, right? So he's just waving it as he comes out of the floor. All of a sudden, down comes from the ceiling an NX unit, or the Nintendo. It's coming down. It stops like right above his head. He takes the controllers, clicks them on the side, and says, "Everybody, look underneath your seats. Welcome to Nintendo."
No.
Everybody in that room has a free Nintendo NX underneath their seats. So they pull it out. Now, granted, these units at the time, they're not unlocked. There's a separate thing at the end that all the press have to go to get theirs unlocked, and they have to sign an NDA to get their unlocked. So, it's only for press, so it's only, it's not going to be the public. But so the press are going to go, they're going to pick it up, and they're going to be able to play every single game, like a 20-minute demo of every game that they show off at this event on there. And that's what Reggie's going to turn around and be like, by the way, everyone in this room right now, you can play every game, including ones we have not even talked about yet. 20-minute demos, non-stop, infinite amount of times in a row, as much as you want. Oh, by the way, you get to take that unit back with you to your place. You just got to sign an NDA and everything before you can take it out of the building. And so, like, the crowd's just going nuts at this point. They're like, what? We don't even know what this thing is, and everyone's grabbing it. They're quickly trying to figure things out. Yada, 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 yada. All of a sudden, blackout. All of a sudden, you start seeing lights flashing everywhere. People are like, oh my god, is someone having a seizure right now? It's going crazy right now. And there was like this. Kimishima comes out. Now, he hasn't been the face of the company for very long, but this is like his big coming out party. He walks out. He is in a Metroid suit, dressed up as Samus Aran. He spreads his arms out, fires a virtual arm cannon shot. Yeah, no. He's in like the full Samus Aran getup, like the full Metroid suit. And so he's holding out, fires the arm cannon. It shows like a virtual shot going off, and then all of a sudden he just goes. You can't see it there right now, but he like slams his arms out and then opens his fist, and then the suit just falls off of him, and he says, "Guys, I am pleased to present to you Metroid Prime 4 exclusive to NX." And then boom, big trailer for Metroid Prime 4, shows off a bunch of cool stuff, yada 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 yada. Then Reggie Fils-Aimé comes on right after, and he says, "Hey everyone, welcome to the show. Are you excited yet? Are you wondering what's going on?" There's been a lot of rumors, a lot of speculation out there. Obviously, those of you in the audience right now have the NX in your hands. Those of you at home are just kind of watching, wondering what's happening. Here's the deal. The NX is a 4K, 60 FPS handheld unit that has a 15-hour battery life. You're asking, how do we make this possible? Well, we don't like to talk about tech specs. That's the little Nintendo magic. You caught me, didn't you? I'm talking about tech specs, aren't I? That's right, folks. It is already future-proofed before the TVs you even own. Most of you don't own 4K yet. You will within a few years. This unit can hook up to your TV, as you can see it at station number 2 that has the unit. And then someone goes over there, picks it up, and they start playing, what did I say was on there? Mario Galaxy 3. So, by the way, that's not the Wii Mario Galaxy or Mario Galaxy 2. That is Mario Galaxy 3. Then a projector comes down. Oh, by the way, guys, every single Wii game is available on the system because the detachable controllers also double as motion controllers. And not only are all the Wii games playable on here, they are all free. And they are all in HD. And you could download them day one. Boom! People are just like, what just happened? What is going on? What is going on? And then they just start hitting you with a game announcement after game announcement. Then eventually Reggie says, by the way, because this system was so impressive to the third parties that we showed it off for, we can confirm to you today that the new Assassin's Creed game that has not yet been announced is coming from Ubisoft. We are also obviously getting our Just Dance game. We have the motion controls. They're optional, by the way. We have a separate controller. You know that Wii U Pro controller you like? It is now the Nintendo controller, included with every single unit. Now, you're asking yourself right now, how much is all this going to cost? Well, it's going to cost $299. Wait. Didn't the Wii U cost $299? Yeah. Doesn't don't certain other companies right now releasing, a supposed new system called, it might have a P at the end of it? Yeah. This system is cheaper than the competition. It's more powerful than the competition. Oh, and by the way, if you do finally want to watch your 4K Blu-rays, we are offering a $399 bundle that includes an attachable 4K Blu-ray player, which also will allow you to put all of your physical discs from the Wii and Wii U in to play all of the games you already own on the system. By the way, I also am happy to announce that our virtual console, we will be releasing 20 new games for the NES, SNES, and N64 every single month until we have completed the entire library. And if you already own some of these games on your Wii U, all you need to do is log in on the system with your Nintendo Network ID, make sure that ID is hooked up with your new Club Nintendo or whatever account that is, the Nintendo account system, and it will automatically download all the games you already have purchased, so you do not have to purchase them again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the NX. Of course, at that point, it's the Nintendo. But
can I just say that's never going to happen
the gist
in
of
a
it.
million
Obviously,
years.
spread that all out over, an hour and a half. Like, it's totally a pipe dream. But that's how I would do it, because I don't know how they're going to sell a 4K system that's portable at $399 with a 12-hour battery life. But that's for them to figure out. Not for me. Okay, 15 hours. Sorry, 15. Don't let me shortchange myself. So I don't know how they're going to make it happen, but that would be like the one way that they could literally grab all handheld gamers, all console gamers, everyone who loves gaming, and literally have them be happy with their platform. There'd be nothing you can dislike about this thing. So
it doesn't have my Call of Duty.
Gosh, do I have to go on a half-hour speed like you just did?
Hey, it's up to you. Whatever.
Yeah.
You're just like Mario. We're done.
Can I keep the Jeopardy music here?
Because there's like potential game franchises that are out for a while. I didn't mention you could bring back the hype people. I mean,
right.
A full-on Pokemon MMO. That's not part of my plans, but
hey, as long as they bring back Conker's Bad Fur Day in
they
full
can.
form,
They can. Microsoft owns it.
Right? Yeah. Dang it.
So, but hey, it's your you hype.
My pipe dream.
My
pipe dream.
So here we go.
Yeah.
You're unveiling the NX.
I
Here we go.
I haven't really had much experience with unveiling stuff, so the only
what would
experience I
excite
really
you?
had was E3.
Yeah.
So a big booth like that, where it's kind of set up for different games that are coming out for it, whether it be a Mario game, Breath of the Wild, stuff like that.
How are you unveiling it to the people at home?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have a booth like that.
Okay. I'll be quiet. Sorry. Should interject into your mind here.
Yeah.
People are going to vote against me just because I'm being a dick. All right, go on.
Welcome to you. No, you just can't. You can't lose. So
you
have to find a way to try to win everything.
Except I always lose at Madden. Like, we're going to play
Yeah,
the Super Bowl
right.
tonight, and you're going to wreck me.
Right.
Anyways,
Okay.
go on.
But now I lost my train of thought. Thanks a lot. No.
You're talking E3 booth.
Yes.
kind of
Like
ideas.
E3 booth. Yes. Yes. Just having screens and gameplay footage of games that are coming out, whether it be Breath of the Wild, whatever else, blah blah blah. And what else would be really freaking cool would be all of a sudden they reveal, oh, by the way, we have a VR thing for it. So
Ooh, going the
guess
VR
what?
route.
Just to compete with Sony, because poor Sony, you gotta bury them somehow. To be actually, again, to be able to drive a kart in Mario Kart against your friends, or run around as Zelda in a Zelda game.
And make it more affordable than Sony.
Sorry.
Undercut the price.
Sorry, run around as Link. Sorry, let me rephrase that.
Hey, Link was in
no.
Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, run around. No, in a Zelda game.
I
Run
know,
around
I
as
know.
Link.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
First person Zelda, baby.
Yeah, right? I mean, that sounds like it'd be so much fun. You could actually Goomba Stomp. Yes!
I don't know if I'd want to. I get so tired.
Why not? It's a great way for exercise.
That'll get you in shape.
Yeah, right? So, I really think, with just the way Nintendo games are, I think they should explore that route. I'm not saying that this will have it, because it probably won't. But
okay, 99.9% of what I
stuff that we just
said
said? Yeah, it's
is
not
not going to happen.
Right. But-
What most of Darren said is probably not going to happen.
Yeah. But that would be really cool.
The only thing that we know for sure, Breath of the Wild is probably going to be there. That's the
right,
0.1% we know. It's going to be there. We don't know how, but it's going to be there.
Right. But, just...
So what would
kinda
excite
as
you for a reveal?
Just like an E3 type thing. That's, like I said, that's the only thing I've ever...
Would
really had
would that
any
E3
sort of-
thing be public or just press?
I think the show floor would probably be just press, but at the same point in time, they would have it streaming for the public, obviously. Whether it's in a big coliseum or whatever, wherever, and
Or this is something that Sony does. Maybe think of like movie theaters. People can go to movie theaters and watch this.
yeah, definitely not a bad idea.
So I think Sony
Yeah.
does that for one of their events.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just trying to.
yeah.
Again, I'm
well,
throwing
right.
ideas
No,
at
no,
you.
no,
Actually,
it's yeah, right,
we want to win.
right, yeah. But I don't know. I really think it either way. I'm just kind of excited for it, just to see what new things they have, and either way, I mean, I know it
What
doesn't
kind of
really help me.
games?
What kind of games?
Yeah, you just said Breath of the Wild and other games.
Well, I'd like to see Mario Kart, a Punch Out. A new Punch Out would be fun. Bring back Tecmo Bowl.
Yes,
Yeah.
bring back Tecmo
Yeah, but they
Bowl.
couldn't use the NFL license.
I know.
Actually, no, they can because Madden does not release on Nintendo systems.
So they could
So
actually.
yeah, any platform that Madden doesn't release on, you can actually make a
actually
platform
make
exclusive
Okay, nice.
football game. But again, if it's awesome, then Madden's going to be in on it.
Right. Yeah.
But, or if they find out Nintendo's making a Tecmo Super Bowl, they'd be like, yeah, you can make that, but it can't be any NFL stuff because
Yeah. Oh, they can
We're
make the
gonna release-
NFL Legends.
oh my gosh, backyard football. Anyways,
Yeah. But I got nothing.
What, no name, no price.
Oh, I like the Goomba. Have it shaped like an actual
An
Goomba.
actual
Oh
Goomba.
my
Actual Goomba.
gosh.
Because
Oh, boy.
that'd be awesome. I don't know why I have a thing for Goombas tonight, but
He's
I think
his
it'd be awesome.
his Goomba obsession is like
Hey, that's just tonight.
whole new level. just tonight.
That's just tonight.
Tomorrow it's Toad.
Yep. After that's Princess Peach, Bowser. Just keep going through the Mario characters. We'll eventually get.
So
back
how
to
much? How
Goombas.
much is this mystical system going to cost? What would be a price point you'd be happy with?
I mean, it really depends on what all it comes with, but
Well,
right
you
around.
get to decide what it
Oh,
comes with.
right. Anywhere between the $250 to $400 range would be.
Pretty beefy system, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Pretty beefy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very nice. You know.
Very nice.
not-
Very nice Goomba head.
Yeah. Goomba. Yeah. The Goomba. Just don't stomp on it.
That's their tagline.
Yeah.
Just
Goomba,
don't stop.
just don't stomp it.
All right, folks. Well, there you go. There's our 3 very, very, very different ways that we would avail the NX and what it's called, and yeah, bunch of crazy stuff. None of it's going to happen, but which idea did you like best? If you are watching this on YouTube, I'll put a link down in the description so you can go right over to the poll and get your vote in.
If you vote
that's gonna
Nate,
do
then it's
this
you
week's
I
podcast.
hate.
I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully, you can see What?
I said if you vote Nate, then it's you I hate.
Oh, he's getting ready.
No,
He's already getting ready for his poem because he knows he's gonna lose.
Gosh.
Oh
Here
gosh.
we go. Oh, hold on. Let me find a pin around here. I gotta pop somebody's big head.
It's okay. I'm gonna cry when I lose him. Because I'm gonna be like all this momentum and it's just gonna fizzle out.
Yep.
So thank everyone for thank you everyone for tuning in to the Nintendo Prime Podcast episode 2. Hopefully you like the new setup. Over time it's gonna kind of evolve. We're not gonna be standing. We'll actually have chairs. We're gonna be getting double mics and doing a lot of crazy stuff. And Darren won't be having such crappy audio with delays. Hopefully. And don't worry, you guys aren't gonna hear any of that. It's just the way that we're hearing it. You can obviously follow Darren on Twitter at RealDarren. You can follow me on Twitter at NateChance. You can't really follow him anywhere.
No.
But you could follow Nintendo Prime. Like, go to NintendoPrime.net, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's where you're going to see them, hopefully every single week, if not every other week. But I'd like to do it every week. We'll see. Hopefully we find out some stuff about NX so we can, blow up a podcast about it. Because we're kind of just sitting in a no-news situation. It's really weird starting a podcast in the middle of a dead news cycle, but we made it work.
Why not?
We'll see you guys next week.